Well, Dave, is this one of those nights when you say a win's a win?
Yeah, it's first of all, hopefully, best wishes to obviously Morgan Feeney who got taken off. Not nice when you see something like that, but hopefully nothing too serious. But like I say, best wishes from everybody. It is, but also I just said to the players there, it just for me tells me where we're at, and they're the moments for me, again for me, where you have to, or you're tested around how we've evolved and how we've got better, and we have, but not to the extent where we need to, in my opinion, and you will have to grind out wins over the course of a season, but you've still got to make the right decisions, and the right decision isn't always play it backwards and then smash it forwards. We've got to be better than that. So I would hope the players, again, although they've been congratulated, would use that as motivation to say, all right, we know what we've done and where we've come from and gone to. Can we be better in those last 10, 15, 20 minutes when the ball's getting smashed forward and you're under the pump a little bit, and we've got ball players on the pitch that should be able to hold on to it for a much longer period than we did and still create chances. We didn't. We looked no threat. I knew that technically tonight we'd have to be really good. We weren't. We were sloppy, and that didn't assist us. We scored a goal worthy of winning any game, and just do enough. So I suppose it's always better to be able to learn in a winning outcome, and puts us in good shape going into what's a really tough game at the weekend.
As you say, if it was a beauty contest, Ollie Norwood wins it by a country mile for that strike, doesn't he? Because there wasn't a lot else to write home about. And but that's why he's here, isn't it? For that quality, being able to produce that moment of magic. Yeah,
listen, the keeper's made a couple of good saves from corners. And if you get the second goal, the game's probably different. But they've been really good since Gareth's been in, really, about staying in games. And they obviously tried to nullify things in the first half, and we probably knew that they'd maintain that until they could have a little bit of a razz at it the last sort of 20 minutes or so, and it coincided with the injury, then made a change, changed the shape, and threw a little bit more caution to the wind. Once they throw caution to the wind, that's where we need to be better, because if we can then show our quality, then we should in essence create better chances, and we didn't do that enough.
Did you feel you needed a second goal, and that really would have killed the game off?
Yeah, I think so. But I'd have been as comfortable if we'd have just had more control and looked more of a threat. We didn't do enough to impose what we should be doing on the game. It was almost like we went into not negative mode, but defence mode around, we're not going to try and play our way out here. Well, more often than not, and pretty much every time, the case is the ball's coming back either into one of their centre-halves who's free, or a goalkeeper, and it's getting slammed back on you. And when you have the dynamic that we have at the back, aerially, and not having those aerial dominant players, then that's going to be a test for us.
Is it perhaps a measure of how far we've come as a team now? It's 3 wins in a row, 9 points out of 9, and you're disappointed a little bit tonight with a win?
No, I'm not disappointed. I was disappointed with our bits of the second half performance against Reading. I was disappointed with our second half performance on Saturday in moments, because I almost you have to look forward and understand what you might come up against, and I thought that tonight how good we were in control and in possession would be tested. Yeah. And we didn't do enough when we at 3-1 up against Reading. We thought that we could have controlled the game, and on Saturday we could have controlled the game better than we did. And I don't know whether it came as a surprise to me, but we didn't do it well enough in this part of the game when you come under the squeeze. And that's the bit where we need to, like I say, we need to keep improving. That's not saying I'm not happy with the fact that we've won. Of course we are. It's about winning, but it's still about trying to improve and show we can do as players in there, because the game, the way it was in the end, didn't suit the personnel we had on the pitch, and it doesn't suit the personnel in our squad. So we've got to work really, really hard to try and make it a game that suits what we've got. Having players that should be able to look after the ball better, and that's constantly an aim to try and get better. And if that aim doesn't give us joy and success this season, then undoubtedly it'll give us success over the next few seasons, because we'll become more rounded as a team and as a group.
You mentioned Morgan Feeney. We'll go back to him if you don't mind. Gareth just said there that it's a neck injury, and he's praised Stockport County's medical team as well as his own medical team, and he was out there himself obviously concerned. But it's so important those medical teams work together and do absolutely the right thing, especially with neck injuries like that, and it looks as though he's going to be okay. Yeah,
it didn't look bad. We've obviously all got have the opportunity to look at things back on the side of the pitch, and I suppose when you just see bodies on the floor, you fear the worst. We could then see it, and obviously knew that it was a neck, and whether a neck's worse than an unconscious, I'm not too sure. It's not ideal at the best of times, but when things happen, whether it be on football pitches or in football grounds, normally there's plenty of medical staff around. But like you say, when they have to, I suppose, collaborate and make sure that somebody takes charge and all parties end up safe and in the right place as quickly as possible. That's always going to be the most important thing, no matter how long it takes. And like I say, fingers crossed, everything's okay. I'm sure he'll be a little bit sore for a few days, but hopefully nothing long lasting. He can be back out there playing for them.
And just finally, David, it's great you've got another clean sheet tonight, because of course you go to Leyton Orient the weekend. I think they're on a 12-game unbeaten run now. They're the form team in League Two. I'll ask the question as devil's advocate. Is it a free hit for you, that one?
No, absolutely not. There's not I'm not great and going into games thinking that we're not going to try and win. If someone would say, would you take a point now? I'm not sure. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't type thing. But we want to go and win, and just as Leyton Orient would, wherever they might go. So, is it a tough game? Of course it's a tough game. Have I been there and lost some games? Yeah, but we've been there and played really, really well. Sometimes as well. So we know it's a tough trip against a team that are in form, but we're not in a bad shape ourselves. And if we can keep improving and keep producing what we have, then on any given day, as I say, I think we can compete with the majority, if not all, the teams in the division. It's on the day. Can you go and replicate what? Can they go and replicate what they have tonight at Exeter when they're at home? Can we go and replicate what we have over certain games when we go there? I suppose the inconsistencies of League One football and what that looks like pose a question where anything can happen. So we'll go there and be positive and be us, and not look to overthink what we're doing and where we're at. It's an opportunity to get 3 points and keep ourselves in the mix.
3 wins in a row. Congratulations.
Cheers, John. Thank you.